Better get the hoop back in. Got to.
You know what I do?
Obviously, it's been well documented your relationship with Floyd Mayweather. You talk about how that relationship developed.
Yeah, when I was one of my best friends is Adrian Bronner. So like he's from Cincinnati. We've known each other for a while. I actually sat out my first year pro and was basically training with him, doing everything with him, like, and then outside his training camp, like I was like his assistant when we travel and stuff. And my first year Cyprus, I always knew Floyd, but not on that level. And I came home one time from my first year overseas, went straight to Vegas for Adrian's fight, and we were in the gym, and he was like, "Yo, where Jay Carl at?" And everybody was like surprised, like, "What is he? What do he want you for?" And he's like, "Yo, you hoop, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, and he was like, I'm gonna put you in a position to be seen. Like, so it was like 2 weeks go by, maybe a week, 2 weeks go by, and I always heard that my whole life somebody's gonna help me and do something. And he FaceTimed me at like 5 o'clock in the morning, saying, "Hey, you'll pack your stuff up. You coming to Vegas? You got to work out at Impact." And I told my mom. My mom didn't believe it. She's like, "Yo, you just didn't. That didn't happen." I left in the morning, and I was there maybe 3 4 days. I got to the hotel, and I didn't hear from nobody. Nobody. I know what was going on. I didn't know when I was working out. Like, I'm like, "Yo, what am I doing out here?" And he told me, I came to the mall. I was like, "Yo, sorry, I was out of town. I was doing some business. We're about to go to Miami. You're gonna come with me." Da, da, da. So we went to Miami, and I found out my workout schedule was on Monday. So we're in Miami on Sunday. I told his assistant to book my flight back to Vegas so I can make it Monday. And we was in Live. It was me, him, Clay Thompson, Wayne, and he's like, "Yo, just stay here. We'll get your work in here." Da, da, da. And I was like, "Nah, I'm out." So I left, and then his right hand man, who I was close with for a long time, and he was basically like, "Yo," he was testing you to see if you was around for your work or you was around for the right reasons. And after that, he like just took me under his wing and I had NBA workouts. He was putting me in front of, just networking, and my career kind of changed off of that, just having them opportunities. And now I call him my uncle now. It's been 10 plus years.
That's a super dope story. And like, what impact what impact has witnessing, let's say, like the work ethic of Adrian and Floyd had on you on the basketball side?
Oh, the way they work, and even Floyd, we'll go eat, we'll go to the club, then afterwards he goes straight to the gym. And it's like he never let that affect, like, what he does outside of the gym affect him going to the gym. And I think that was the biggest thing for me that I picked up on. Like, because after all that, I'm still going to the gym at that time and wait, sometimes not even going to sleep and going straight to impact. I will work out for 3 4 hours and then pass out. And I think that's what kind of changed like the way I approach things was like, don't matter what you do, you got to put your work in. And my biggest thing was always trying to outwork the next person, because the disadvantage they say I have being small, I had to be in the best shape. So like when they running their miles, like I'm right with them running their miles. Like I know hoopers ain't doing that. Like you barely can get hoopers to run. They want to do all the court work and get shots up, lifting and stuff. Like I'm running 5 to 10 miles every day on top of all my other work. And as I got older, like I calmed it down, like, 'cause now I know what I need. At the time, like it just changed. Like if I wanted something, like I had to work harder. Like I had to do what everybody's not doing. While they sleep, I got to work.
And as a basketball player, because I've been around boxers, I've been around boxers a lot too. But I had to sit out my first year because I had a hip injury, and I went to this boxing gym. And Nonito Donaire, he was like pound for pound #3 back then, behind Floyd and
Yeah, yeah.
Pacquiao. But witnessing boxers work out, like it changes you mentally. And once you actually get in the ring and you're working out with them consistently, like it kind of changes your whole perception of being in shape. What
Yeah.
it What was it like being a basketball player watching, boxers in their element?
Yeah, it's like when I first came around, it was crazy because I came around before I turned pro. I was still in college when I was around the boxing, so like I knew I was in shape, and then you see what they're doing, and it's like now it's just them. Like I'm not doing my reps with two or three people. Like he's doing all his reps by himself for 2 hours straight, and then once I seen that, then I started to venture into that working out with them. Then it got to a point where like that's all I knew, and I knew what type of shape I was in. Like they going to Colorado Springs, they're getting the altitude to train. Like you're doing a whole training camp like that. So I'm up there. Then when I come down to where I got to do my workout, I'm running laps around guys. Like, and it just shows like what you do as sometimes as a player, and maybe not even basketball, whether it's football, whatever you do, that it's always somebody out there that's like you think you in shape, like it's a whole nother lane that you're not in. Like it's a whole nother avenue that you can tap in that you think you already tapped into that you didn't.
Right. And my last question is like, what do you think is like a public misconception about Floyd and Adrian?
I think the one with Adrian, he has this misconception about like how he parties, gets in trouble and stuff like that, which he does. Like that's one of his demons he's fighting. But at the same time, dude is like he works hard. Like to me he overworks. Like he doesn't understand the recovery side of it. That like you part is your workout, you have to recover from the workout as well too. Like and he sometimes he don't understand that. He just means like, yo, I gotta keep going, I gotta keep going, I gotta grind, I gotta grind. And I don't people see that side like that. He really works hard. And the Floyd side, like people always he was always through his career was the villain, the bad guy. And like he's the most generous, like cares about the next person attitude. Like it's amazing like how much he does for people, and the way he puts people in position to be successful. Just the little checking in stuff. Like this man has meetings and doing this and doing that. Got his hand in everything you could think of, but he still finds a way to, yo, everything good, family. Like how's the season going? Whatever the case is. Like I talk to him on a normal basis, and it's like you have so many people around that you are close with, but you still generally care about everybody and their well being and making sure that they're okay.